And we're live.
Hello, everybody. Oh, I'm just going to put our names up here so we can see who we are. There we go. I think we're going to give people a couple minutes to come on now that we are live.
Sounds good.
Yeah. 1:00 on the dot. I know that Facebook was going to give a notification, so let's hope that it did. Okay. When should we start? Let's put this on. Okay. Okay. We got this. I'm very excited about this. This is going to be good. I think we could start.
Sure.
Sure. Hello, everybody. I am Katie McKay. I am the owner of Connect Now Business Network. Hello, Monica. I see you. I'm the owner of Connect Now Business Network, and this is the amazing Katie Gilchrist. She is the leader of the Coquitlam chapter. When are your days? What days are you doing this?
I am currently on the second Tuesday of the month in Coquitlam.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So Katie and I have been friends for years, and we are very, very, very different people from when we first met. And it's been really cool to experience this growth with her. We've been talking about this for a little while now, because the more we open up about some of our struggles in business, we realize that we're not alone. For so long, we thought that we were. Hi, Ashley. I see you. Ashley. Katie, can you see the comments?
I can see people coming on here, and yep, I can see the comments. Hello, friend Ashley.
So for so long, when we were going through the struggles of being an entrepreneur, we thought we were alone. We thought we were fighting our own battles. And it wasn't until, I had a little bit of a breakdown that I realized that I really wasn't. Now, in this process, we've seen that the importance of being able to talk about it. And it's a bit of a taboo subject. Nobody wants to appear weak. Is it weak? Nobody wants to appear like they are less than perfect. We live in a society where everything's documented. Everything you do is on blast. So you want to make sure that how you're appearing is this pristine thing all the time. And it doesn't have to be. We all make mistakes. We all screw things up. It's how you bounce back. And so one of the biggest things that we wanted to do about this, with this, is showing people that you're not alone. And we wanted to kind of get rid of that stigma a little bit of being an entrepreneur and not feeling like you have to be perfect all the time, because none of us are. So, so in this, we're calling this a power hour because we want to open up the conversation at the end. We're calling this Flailing with Style, because I think that's kind of what we're all doing. We're all just flailing, grasping on, and eventually we'll find something that works and sticks. So let's help each other. Let's help each other do that. Oop, beeping. Let's help each other do that. Let's help each other be successful and be there for each other in the lows. So our segment that we're going to be doing once a month is speaking on the unspoken challenges that come with running a business. We want you to discover tools and strategies for conquering those invisible obstacles that leave so many business owners burnt out, overwhelmed, not knowing where to go next. And there's a saying where, every time you go on a plane, you have to put your oxygen mask on first before you can put the oxygen mask of anybody else. And for so long, everyone around me had their oxygen masks on, or so it seemed. And I was left just gasping for air. I didn't know what to do. I'm at a point now where my oxygen mask is on. The people around me are more successful and happy. My kids are happier. Everything is better because I realized that I needed to put my mask on. And we really want to be able to help you guys too. So that's why we've decided to start this. So our goal is to empower people to have an open discussion about mental health, being an entrepreneur, and getting through this and being successful.
Totally.
So, yeah. So the reason that we're using this platform, well, why we're using Connect Now. First of all, as you know, I am the owner of Connect Now, and I've met so many people along the way. And I remember one meeting that I went to, and someone asked me why I purchased Connect Now. And it has grown my business so much, and the connections that I have with people are astounding. And I've built friendships inside and outside of the network, which has been amazing. But I talked about how far it's helped me come in my own journey. And about a year ago, I couldn't get out of bed to go to a meeting. And someone came up to me after the meeting. She was the happiest person there. She had the biggest smile on her face. And her personality is so bubbly. And she came up to me after and she said, yeah, things really suck right now. And it really sparked this, because you don't know what people are going through. And we're all entrepreneurs. We're all business owners. We're all going through this together. So let's go through this together. So, Katie, do you want to talk about our first experience in networking?
Sure. Oh my goodness. This segment means a lot to me, because it is so true that you really have no idea what is going on behind the scenes. And Katie, you and I both kind of jumped into our businesses full time in the chaos of everything in our lives that was going on. And we had to really flail with style when we first started out. And I remember on January 10th, 2017, we went and we attended our first ever networking meeting. Not first Connect Now meeting, first networking meeting ever. First time ever going out with the intention to meet people to grow our businesses. And let's be completely honest, we just sucked at it.
Oh, yeah.
We just sucked at it. But I say that, but it's really funny, because even though we felt that we supremely sucked at it and we didn't really spend any time truly networking, nobody could really see that. Nobody saw that we were too afraid to go up and talk to anybody. And during that time, the two of us, even though the intention behind networking is to go out and meet people, make new connections, grow your business, the two of us went and sat at a tiny little table in the corner by ourselves and hoped nobody would talk to us.
We had a lovely lunch together.
It was a great lunch in a very busy room full of other business owners. It was crazy. I mean, for me personally, nobody knew this at the time, but I was just at the tail end of a really, really deep depression, and my anxiety was at an all-time high. Like it was so severe, and not just in networking situations, in day-to-day situations. And I've shared before that it was at a point where I couldn't even go down a grocery store aisle if I saw there was a single other person in that aisle. It was just all this paranoia, all this fear, all this anxiety took over. And so I still went to that networking event. We both did. And even though there's all that going on inside, all that fear, all that pain, all that suffering, I get told time and time again that people had no idea that that was even a thing, that we came across as confident and professional, but you really don't know what those inner battles are that people are facing. And so even if you feel like you're going into a new situation that's terrifying and scary and everybody's going to see how I feel, a lot of that is just up in here, up in your little head, right? So that was definitely an interesting situation. And Katie, do you want to expand on what that first networking experience was like?
Not really.
Not really.
Looking back on it now, it's actually it's funny now.
Yeah.
I think you and I stood outside for a little while in the beginning, psyching each other up. But even then, you and I really didn't talk to each other about it either. Mm-hmm. We didn't know how much the other person was struggling. I mean, yeah. I was 7 months pregnant too. And I was, it was a really unknown time for me. And even a couple months later, and no one knew this. I think one person pointed it out, that they saw my husband sleeping in the car at a networking event. But I drove out there. I had my baby in the back seat, and he slept during the meeting. My husband was in the car with him in the event that he woke up, and they kind of just drove around a little bit, because the idea of going away from him for any length of time longer than a nap, like, I just went out there and I cried and I held him until I was able to drive again. But I was okay during that networking meeting. Like, nobody knew. No one knew that I just couldn't wait for the meeting to be over so that I could go out there. And it really took away from the networking experience. I wasn't able to really be present because I was in my own head. And the whole time he was fine. He was sleeping. Both of them were sleeping. You know, it was fine. And the fact that it was fine and I didn't know, was really exhausting.
Yeah. And maybe people watching this right now, if you feel like commenting either about yourself or somebody else, have you ever met somebody who seemed to have it all together, completely professional, got everything nicely packaged in a box, and then you get that peek behind the curtain and you find out that they have their own struggles too? And if you want to share what that's like for you, feel free. But I think you'd be surprised at just how many people out there have those hidden obstacles, but come across as if everything is perfectly fine. So feel free to share in there.
I think that happens a lot more often than we realize. I think that people are really good at putting a mask on, because that's kind of what we're taught that we're supposed to do. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be like, you know what? I'm going to try again tomorrow. Today's not working for me. I'm going to go have a bath. I'm going to go and walk around the mall and not talk to anybody, and I will refresh and come back in a few minutes. It's okay to take that time that you need so that you can come back stronger. Yep. And I think that is something, and you are really good at that. That is something that you are able to unplug. And I think that that's a big thing too. Yeah, Ashley says, I've learned that everyone has something going on behind the scenes. Everyone has something going on behind the scenes. Isn't that true? Good or bad, you know, it's not always, and we don't know until we talk about it. So that's what we're hoping to do here, is to start the conversation of, hey guys, not okay right now. Tell me how great I am so that I can come back to it later.
That's what Monica says.
Yeah. There's a couple comments here. Susan Beach says, hi all, so true that we have had our own struggles. Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. Everybody's had their own struggles. And then Monica says, excuse typos, I will not. So I was surprised that both of you had anxiety. I saw them, and even more so now, view you two as very strong women in your field, inspiring and leaders. Thank you, Monica. That is so sweet of you to say. We sure did not feel like that.
Oh.
Now, you know what? Yeah, I can say that I am now. Oh, hi, Danielle. No, I see you. You're here. Everything's good. We can always watch the replay too. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
So Danielle, just to catch you up, we've been talking about why we've been doing this. And the biggest thing that we want to do this for is to open up the conversation and to tell people that it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to take that time for yourself and come back stronger so that we can be more successful in our businesses, more successful together, and know that you've got a really powerful group of people around you that, you know what, they probably know what it's like. They probably know what you're going through more than you realize. I think.
If I could just add on to that for a second. We also are so afraid of sharing this because we think it's going to drastically change people's perceptions of us for the negative. But I will tell you time and time again, over the years of me building up the courage or whatever to actually be honest and just share about what's going on behind the scenes, I've gotten nothing but support. And that honestly, it's all in your head. A lot of it is in your head of what you think other people are going to think when you share that you have anxiety, that you were depressed, or that you struggle every day in social situations, or whatever that invisible burden might be for you. You'd be surprised at not only how many people are suffering with the same thing, but that people will respect you more if you're honest about where you're at, about being real with where you are. So don't be afraid to share.
Yeah, and then sharing how far you've come too. Because if you're around people, they'll be able to see the change in you. I know that people have seen the change in us. Yep. I know that we can feel it too. But it also goes with sharing the good. I know that the other day you shared a live video that you did about the award that you won.
Yeah.
And the response was amazing. Like the people that you had built up around you that was there to support you and celebrate with you was like, it was awesome to see. I kept seeing these comments coming in, and that was just me watching you. So I can imagine, how good that felt for you.
Yeah.
To have built up that tribe of people.
Totally. And it's cool. And like you said earlier, you never know what's going behind the scenes, bad or good, right? And it doesn't mean you need to spew out your heart and soul and only say all the bad stuff that you perceive in your mind right now. Sharing the wins and the celebrations is part of that vulnerability and getting out there and helping people get to know you. It's a big part, and it's something else that we struggle to share because we think it's selfish or self-centered.
Yeah. Ashley says, I want to see what this is like. We're testing out this new platform, so I'm going to show this. I've recently discovered that when you share your story, you realize that you're not alone. It makes such a difference to know that you don't have to struggle alone. Allies are the most important tool entrepreneurs need. Yup. Yes,
100%.
absolutely. Yep. We were actually with Ashley yesterday, and we had a few moments of vulnerability, sharing our story. And I read my original story. I was supposed to say what my story of success was. And people looked at me and said, "Oh yeah, okay. So how did you feel in that?" Like it was nothing. It was dry. So then when I started talking about how, I didn't feel like I was running a business very well. I didn't think that I was doing it. And I thought that crippling anxiety wouldn't let me leave the house. While at the same time, that same anxiety said, "Hey, if you leave, no one's going to notice." And then someone went, "Oh, that." So wrote a story, changed it up a little bit, put some more vulnerability in it. And it was cathartic, really, to just be able to say, look where I am now. Hey, everyone, here. So we want to be able to give some strategies and tools along the way, too.
Totally.
Awesome. So today we want to give you some tools to help you in these kinds of situations where you don't feel super confident or you don't feel like, this is really where I need to be. First, I want you to be able to trust yourself. Learn to trust yourself and know that you are in that situation for a reason. It might not be to network with somebody, but look at you stepping outside of your comfort zone. That is amazing. I am so proud of you. So first step is just getting in there, and it's all baby steps, and the baby steps and, preparing, the small ones have the biggest impact on your mindset. So, I think that one thing too that really helped us is that we knew each other. Hi, Jeanette. One thing that really helped the two of us is that we knew each other. Now, I can imagine for a lot of people, they'd be going into the networking not knowing anybody. So one of the recommendations that I have is get involved in discussion on Facebook. Start recognizing some names. Start commenting. I'm going to be posting a lot more in the group and on the page. Opportunities to talk about yourselves, events, struggles, wins, all those sorts of things. Start commenting, start recognizing names, because it's pretty cool when you go to an event and someone says, "Hey, I know you. I saw you on Facebook." Now, that doesn't have to be a big live video like this. I've been recognized just because I comment, or you like comments, or you go in and just be real with people. Go and comment on other people's things. Everybody is posting to Facebook. Everybody is taking the time, sitting down, posting about it. Go and comment on their stuff. If you know that you'll see them at a networking event, go onto their page, learn a little bit about them. And, Monica, do you remember what I said to you when we first met? No? I mean, we talked a lot. Which are you? Okay, tell me what you're talking about specifically. But if you go on to other people's pages and other people's their world, get yourself in there a little bit. Comment, like, share something that you agree with, do those sorts of things so that there is a little bit of recognition. And then when you kind of go to the event, you can say, hey, I've seen you on Facebook. Hey, I know who you are. There is so much appreciation. Like, I know that when someone comes and comments on my stuff, like, it's so appreciated because we're all doing the same thing. We all want to gain that trust. We all want to gain that likability. Everybody wants to be liked. So go and like their stuff, even if you're not able to chat with them yet. You'll get there.
Sure.
So, Katie, I know that you do a lot in terms of getting ready and in networking.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, to add on to the reaching out to people, that you can be more direct about it too when you're going to a new networking event, any kind of thing. Look at the invite, like the guest list, and don't be afraid to just message somebody and say, hey, I'm new to this group. I would love to have a familiar face when I get there. I'd love to see you there. It's just a simple thing. And the worst that can happen is they'll be like, oh, I'm actually not going to the event.
No one will ever be rude. Like,
no.
Honestly. And if they are, that's fine. Go find someone else.
That's fine. Just ask somebody else. But yeah, just feel free. If you need a buddy there, you don't have one, just go up there. Oh, do you want to share what Monica said?
Yeah, I remember. Monica says, I told you I wished I was as together at your age as you were. I remember now you laughed uncomfortably. I then said big things were coming your way. Well, thank you, Monica, for predicting that. Yeah, things have changed a bit. I did laugh uncomfortably. I do. That part I remember because I thought about it for a very long time after. Hi, Tanine.
Hi, Tanine.
Yeah, thought about that for a long time after. I was like, oh, man, I was awkward. And I'm glad you remember too.
Yeah, it just goes to show that your perception of yourself rarely matches up with how other people perceive you too. And it's not always to go in the bad direction either. It's usually we knock ourselves down so much because of all those negative thoughts rolling around in our heads when really other people see this amazing human being. So it's just a matter of letting yourself also see that you're awesome and amazing too. Yeah. So still sticking to the strategies and tools that you can use. If you're in this situation like we were, where we're super anxious going into networking events and we really had no idea what we're doing there, there are a few little tips that you can use to prepare yourself if you just need that extra little bit of safety net. So another thing that you can do when you're going into these new situations, especially in a business setting, is to look at the agenda and prepare for what you know is coming. So for example, at Connect Now, we do these 30-second introductions. So take some time, just nail down your introduction, just so that's one less thing that you need to focus on, right? Because you want to spend that time actually being present and engaging with people and really soaking it all in. And if you're like we probably were at the beginning, the whole time when people were introducing ourselves, I remember the whole time I was just thinking, what am I going to say? 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 And that just made it a lot worse. So having something, even something short prepared can really help manage those nerves and manage that anxiety. So I see we got a couple comments coming in.
Yeah, Jeanette says you've both come so far since I first met you. I saw and continue to see the potential in both of you.
Thank you, Jeanette.
I appreciate that. And we see that in ourselves, and we see that in so many people around us. We met somebody not long ago, and we were amazed by what they were doing on social media. She was posting videos every single day. I was impressed by everything that she was putting out there. And I was like, wow, I love her dedication. And then in talking to her, we got a little more real, and she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And it was hard for her because she's like, I don't feel like I have this. Like, what am I doing? And so it was the same thing. We saw something so different. So thank you. I'm glad you saw the potential in us and continue to, and we will make you proud.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think a lot of that was to do with just sticking through the discomfort, and I'm sure you can speak on that a little bit too, Katie.
Yeah, isn't it great that we didn't stop after that first meeting?
Yeah, I don't even know where we would have been if we just decided that was uncomfortable and hard, I'm going to stop.
Back in a real job. No, I don't know. I don't know, because if we had stuck with our feelings from that very first meeting, I don't know where we'd be right now. But the fact that we stuck through the discomfort, I'm sure glad that we did. Now, in that, I had created a bubble around me that I thought was protecting me, was keeping people away from seeing what I was really going through. And it turns out that bubble was really just holding the discomfort in. And being able to break through that bubble it was in a breakdown that I broke through that bubble. And I'm really glad that I stuck with it. And that goes with anything in life or in business, or the things that are the most uncomfortable probably are going to help you a lot in your business. Now it's just a matter of having the support to do that. And I know that a lot of you are going to shudder when I say this. Guess what's really powerful is cold calling. Things like that is like, oh, no, thanks. But we all know that, you know what, reaching out, it's a numbers game. So it's a lot with other things as well, is stepping outside of your comfort zone and getting her done, doing it, finding the support so that they can say, hey, no, you're on the right track, keep going.
For sure. And sometimes stepping outside your comfort zone well, obviously it's very scary, but even just having a champion at your side that's going to root for you when you're going through this can be really powerful. So don't be afraid to admit that you might be a little nervous going into something, and have somebody behind you who's ready to cheer you on. Like Katie, I think you and I did that for each other through this process. And I think that was so powerful. So never underestimate the power of just even having a single person with you when you're going through this process. It can be extremely helpful. So don't be afraid to reach out to people.
We've each messaged each other being like, hey, need to just talk. Can you just hear what's coming out of my face? And just being able to get it out and having another person listening and say at the end of it, all the things that you need and want to hear, and say, you've got this. You know, you've got this. You're fine. You can do it.
Yeah.
And finding that tribe. So yeah, what has helped me? What has helped me? I think I've covered all the things that have helped me. What has helped you in networking situations? For anybody watching, I want to know what's helped you. What are some tools and strategies that you've used so that either in networking, in business, to push past that discomfort? For me, mine was reaching out for help. I took a lot of personal development because I realized that inside I was not doing as good as I was pretending to be. And once I realized that I could be okay, the business was then okay. And things, I had to care about me again. And it was the first time that I've done that. So that was the big thing for me, was caring about me. And what about you? Is there anybody else? I will kind of leave this open a little bit so that we can chat.
Yeah.
Type.
Yeah. Let us know if some people, networking situations aren't overwhelming. Maybe there's something else in your business or your day-to-day life where it just fills you with nerves, or fills you with fear, or fills you with anxiety. So what is that in that situation, and how are you currently working through that? Thank you, Tanine. You're awesome too. So just think about it, because even just being aware of those situations and knowing, hey, this particular event or this particular group of people or whatever makes me feel a little nervous, it can make you very aware of what those thoughts are going through your head, and can also help you really squash them too. Just don't give in to those thoughts and just do it.
Jeanette, I think the fake it to make it is bogus. Be real and the people will come. Yep. Because in the beginning, we were completely faking it. I mean, it served us a little bit in the moment, but overall, once we became real, and I wasn't afraid to laugh at my own stupid jokes. I always will. That's just who I am as a person now, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Monica says, I agree with what you said regarding showing up. One becomes recognizable. Once a conversation is started, that's a huge icebreaker. Yep. Because then how amazing is it to say, hey, it's great to see you again. That's a great icebreaker.
Yeah.
Jeanette says, making a huge amount of lists. Yes, brain dump, get it out, get it on paper. Identify what really needs to be done. Ashley Doan, she actually showed me something called Trello. It's a software that you can use. It's on my phone. It's everywhere. It's free. So what I do is when I need to do something, I'll add it, and then you can prioritize. You can move things around, and it has really helped me just at least putting it out there. Then Ashley says, "Oh, do you want to? You can.
Sure." Ashley says, I approach networking like making new friends, not like I need to sell. There's less pressure to be me than to be a salesperson. Yes, at least to get to know people. That is so powerful. I think there's a lot of old businessy, markety, salesy strategies that we still cling on to. The whole idea that you need to go out and sell, sell, sell. But honestly, we want to do business with people. We don't want to do business with companies. We want to do business with people. And so if you can show up and show them exactly what kind of person you are, your own personal brand, that is going to be a way more effective way of building that relationship and making that relationship last, rather than just going and throwing a pile of business cards on the table and hoping something sticks.
Yep. Jeanette, the name of that, it's called Trello, Trello. I'm assuming that's what you mean. But yeah, like, Jeanette Martin talks a lot about you do business with people you like, know, and trust. And isn't that true? Ashley Doan, for example, I mean, she does content writing, blogs, and I've gotten to know her. And so if I need help with content, I'm going to Ashley, because we've built up that rapport, and I like and know and trust her. You're pretty great, Ashley. Thanks. Taryn says, and Taryn is a bookkeeper in Langley. She says, it took me 6 months to go to my second meeting, and I ran almost every day in those 6 months. Running in the morning has helped me so much with anxiety and depression. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. And that goes back to caring about yourself. Love you too, Ashley. That goes back to caring about yourself. So in this process, I am down 40 pounds. I'm eating better. I've been going to the gym, and I have never felt better. And I don't feel bad going out and going for a walk, or just being like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go down to the river for a minute and not jump in, but I'm going to go and sit beside it and listen to it. Just need a disclaimer on that one. And I'm going to take that time. So yeah, Taryn, I didn't even recognize you when I saw you after. Like, you had changed so much, but you could tell it was a really positive change in you, because you could see that you were caring about you, and that feels so good, and that shows, that comes out. So it's I have started running, so I might ask you for some tips. I'm not very good at it. It's like that flailing with style. I don't know.
Yeah. And Taryn, good for you for going out and taking action and finding something that works for you and that helps you manage that anxiety and that depression, because it's true, that piece of self-care is so important in personal life and in business. And for everyone else watching here, you need to know what that thing is that can help you recharge and get yourself through those stressful situations. Yeah.
Yes. Well, what have you've been doing something kind of cool every weekend?
Yeah, so one of my big, huge ways of releasing stress is going hiking with my husband. And so we hike every single weekend from 2 hours all the way up to 6 hours, and sometimes accidentally 12 hours if we take the wrong trail.
That's unintentional.
Sometimes to recharge is good. Yeah.
Sometimes you get stuck on a mountain, and
sometimes things happen, right? But having that little thing just for you that you can do that helps you feel relaxed and can get you away from that chaos of running your business is so powerful, because we get so stuck up in like these to-do lists of everything we have to accomplish in our business, but we very rarely put ourselves on those lists.
Yes. Because you are your business. Put yourself on the list. Put yourself first. You come first. Everything else will follow. But if you're not doing well, then your business won't either. So let's help get you to where you need to be. Whether that is a friend, a coach, someone to help you clear out your own stuff in your head, there are people there that are able and willing and want to help you and want to be there for you. So find your people, find your tribe.
Totally.
Yeah, so I think that is it for today. This has been great. I am so happy with all the comments, with all the people that are here. And thank you for opening up to us as well. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for being present, showing up. A lot goes for, there's a lot about that is showing up and being there. We would like to do this every month. Every month we will have a different topic. We will be discussing it through the month. And also, we're going to be getting a list and finding things that we see patterns of when it comes to business owners and kind of clearing up all the stuff in your own head. So we want to make sure that this is valuable for you and that you're welcome, Monica.
Thanks, Monica.
So we've got some ideas. We would love to hear any of your ideas as well. Oh, thanks, Jeanette. We would love to hear any of your ideas as well. And this can be completely anonymous. We want to make sure that this is a safe space. So if you say, hey, you know what? I'm struggling with this right now. I'd love it if you guys would talk about it. So my background with this, I am a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy, and hypnotherapy. There's a lot of strategies that I've learned along the way to be able to help you, and I want to use what I know to be able to help you as well. So we will be giving legitimate strategies and checking in, and glad to hear from you too, Janine. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
So please, I'm gonna post this one. Monica is always there. It's always a phone call away.
And thank you for that invitation, Monica.
Thank you.
That is awesome. And thank you everybody for sharing so much too. That is the first step, is just showing up, sharing, being real about where you are. So thank you so much for coming.
And talk to yourself too. There's always that voice in your head means something. Listen to it. And let's be successful together. Let's make this happen. Yeah. I am so happy that everyone came. I'm looking forward to next month. If you'd like to message either of us or comment on this later, share your thoughts, what you like, what you didn't like, and then we will talk about ways that we can connect further with this and where we see this going. So thank you for coming to, bye-bye. Thank you for coming to the first video in this series. This one is called Flailing with Style, and it's the honest truth about being your own boss. And we're happy to have you here. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.